Hello my amazing people, welcome back to Lizzy Gist World, your #1 spot for hot, trending gist, real talk, and stories that will make you think deeply. Guys, today's gist is not just gist. This one, it will make you pause, reflect, and even question relationships around you. Because what we are about to talk about is something many people are silently experiencing, but not everyone is bold enough to say it out loud. Let me ask you something first. Where do we draw the line between being financially careful and being outright stingy? Because there is a big difference. Now imagine this. A husband. A full-grown married man. Living in the same house with his wife but refusing to pay bills. Yes, you heard that right. No money for food. No money for electricity. Nothing for basic household needs. Meanwhile, he is eating. Just not with her. He is surviving. Just not supporting her. Now tell me, is that still marriage? Or something else entirely? Let's go back to the beginning. Sonia and Dez were that couple. You know those couples you see online and you just smile? The ones that make you believe in love again. That was them. They were everything people admired. They laughed together. They supported each other. They showed up for one another. Even their friends were low-key jealous. Yes, that kind of relationship. And Sonia. She wasn't just sitting pretty. When things were tough for Dez, she stood by him. She helped. She supported. She contributed. And Dez. He played his role too. He handled responsibilities. He showed care. He acted like a man who understood what marriage meant. Everything seemed balanced. Everything seemed healthy. Everything seemed perfect, but guys, you know life. Sometimes, things don't scatter immediately. It starts small. One small change. One strange moment. One behavior that doesn't sit right. Then boom, everything begins to shift. One day, Sonia asked Dez for money. Just something normal. Something basic. And Dez said, I don't have. Now, on a normal day, that's not a problem. Everybody can be broke sometimes. So Sonia didn't make it a big deal. She adjusted. She moved on. But then, the next day, Dez asked Sonia for money. And guess what? She gave him. Without stress. Without drama. Because in her mind, that's partnership. That's marriage. That's we are in this together. Then another day came. Dez asked for money again. But this time, Sonia said, I don't have. I used what I had the last time. And suddenly, everything changed. Dez didn't believe her. He insisted. I know you have it. Now pause there. Let's think about that. How do you go from trusting your partner to accusing them? How do you go from we to prove yourself? Something had already shifted. And from that moment things started getting worse, guys. Dez began to act differently. Not just small difference or big difference. He became tight with money. Not just on luxury. Not just on wants. But on needs. Food. Problem. Electricity. Problem. Basic living. Problem. Meanwhile he is eating. But hiding it. Imagine that. Your own husband eating in secret while you're at home hungry. The same wife that cooks for you. The same woman that stood by you. That one is not just stinginess. That is something deeper. Now the big question everybody is asking. What flipped the switch? Because people don't just change overnight. Or do they? Was it financial pressure, ego issues, hidden resentment, external influence, or something Sonia doesn't even know about? Because let's be honest, sometimes people carry things silently, and instead of communicating, they act out. But here's the problem. When you start punishing your partner for something they don't understand, that is where damage begins. Now let's talk about Sonia. Because a lot of people will say, why is she complaining? But think about it. She is not a millionaire. She is a hairstylist. She is hustling. She is trying. She is contributing. But now, she is being forced to carry everything, while the man who is supposed to partner with her is withdrawing. That's not partnership anymore. That's survival. And once a relationship turns into survival, love starts fading. Respect starts fading. Peace starts disappearing. Now here's where it gets deep. Sonia is trying to understand. She is asking questions. She is observing. She is trying not to overreact. Because sometimes, we are told to be patient. We are told to be understanding. We are told, maybe he is going through something. And yes, that's valid. But here's the truth nobody wants to say. Understanding should not mean suffering. There is a difference. Because how far is too far? At what point do you say, this is not okay? Another thing that stood out in this story is silence. Sometimes, even when things are happening, people don't speak. They don't react. They don't explain. And that silence, it creates confusion. It creates assumptions. It creates tension. Because when one person is acting, and the other person doesn't understand why, the mind starts to wonder. Is it me? Did I do something? Is there someone else? What is really going on? And before you know it, small issue becomes big problem. Now let's be fair. In every situation, there are two sides. What we see is not always the full story. Sometimes, there are things happening behind the scenes. Things we don't know. Things we don't understand. And like I always say, before someone takes a drastic decision, they must have thought about it, weighed it, struggled with it. Especially someone who knows people are watching. So maybe, just maybe, there is more to Dez's actions than we are seeing. But even at that, does it justify how he is treating Sonia? That is the real question. Now let's talk about something else. The fans. Because you know how it goes. Once a story like this comes out, everybody picks sides. Some people support Sonia. Some people defend Dez. Some people start dragging. Some people start comparing. And before you know it, it becomes war. But guys, let's calm down. Because inheriting someone else's fight, not a good idea. Not everything needs to turn into fan-based battle. Sometimes, we just need to observe, learn, and move wisely in our own lives. Honestly, this story is deep because it reflects real life. There are many Sonias out there trying to hold things together, trying to understand, trying to stay strong. And there are also many Dezes struggling silently, handling pressure wrongly, or making decisions that hurt the people closest to them. But at the end of the day, what matters most is this: peace. Your peace of mind. your emotional stability, your well-being. Because no matter what, everybody deserves to be okay. Let me quickly remind you guys. The movie Game for Two is still showing on Sonia Uche TV and it has already crossed 1.5 million views and still counting. Let's keep supporting good content. Let's keep showing love. Because at the end of the day, growth comes from support. Visibility matters. And consistency pays off. Thank you so much for always stopping by. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for supporting Lizzy Gist World. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and be part of this amazing family. And to my returning subscribers, I see you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Now I want to hear from you. If you were Sonia, what would you do? Would you stay and understand? Or would you draw the line? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk. Until next time. Stay safe. Stay wise. Stay peaceful. Bye for now.